is Maxim, and it's another video from Marcus here. Today we're going to discuss what central banks are and what is their role. We're going to discuss the mandates of some of the central banks of different countries and see if they're similar or if they're different in some sense. This video is going to be quite useful for those of you studying economics at A-level or GCSE, as this video will help you in grasping the content of macroeconomics. Okay, central banks. I'm going to give you an informal definition. This is kind of the main bank in the country, which is supposed to keep control of inflation and sometimes economic growth. Let's have a look at what central banks do. So, central banks in most countries are responsible for keeping inflation either stable or low, depending on their mandate. So, let's have a look at the Federal Reserve, the central bank of the US. They aim to keep inflation stable at low levels, and this is their mandate. This is what they aim to do. This is when central bank manipulates interest rates in order to keep inflation either low or maybe increase it if we're facing deflation like Japan is at the moment. So then they may be decreasing interest rates if they have that limit, because some countries have already gone into negative interest rates. Again, I'm going to go into more detail in the monetary policy video. But now, if you decrease interest rates, you stimulate the economy, your inflation may go up. So if the country is facing deflation, they may be decreasing interest rates for the inflation to go up, for prices to go up. Or on the other hand, if the inflation is too high, some countries may face hyperinflation. We may increase interest rates to decrease that inflation to cool the economy down. How that works and how that process actually happens, again, I will talk more about that in the monetary policy video. Then we have unconventional monetary policy, which is also called the quantitative easing. And this is when the government buys bonds to inject cash into the economy. But I'm going to have a separate video on QE. QE stands for quantitative easing again. Okay, that's what central bank's main objective is, to target inflation, to keep it low and stable. Because hyperinflation is bad, and deflation is bad as well. And what is worse is a big question, which I'm not going to answer now because it's a big debate. Okay, what we do now is some banks have another objective. Let's look at the mandate of the People's National Bank of China. They aim to keep inflation stable, and also they aim to keep the currency stable. So the Chinese renminbi, or yuan, whatever you call that, is another objective of a central bank of China, which is the People's National Bank of China, as I already said. So they aim to keep the currency stable at a particular level, because this is very important for the China's economy, which is largely relying on exports. Okay, so what they do for that, they have the currency fixed. So it's not moving, it's fixed against the US dollar, and it's not traded freely, it doesn't float. What they do from time to time, they let it float within two limits. This is called managed exchange rates. I'm not planning to do a separate video on exchange rates. However, if you would like one, please leave a comment and I'll try to make one for you. Okay, so central banks are the main banks of the country. They have particular objectives, main one being keeping inflation low, and some of them have also an objective of keeping the currency stable. I'm going to finish this video with some examples of central banks of different countries. I already mentioned the Fed, which is the central bank in the US, and the People's National Bank of China. The central bank of the UK is called BOE, Bank of England, and we also have the ECB, European Central Bank, which is the central bank in the Eurozone. Now you know what functions central banks perform, and you may have some brief insight into how they do it. Thanks a lot for watching, and please stay tuned for the following videos where I'm going to expand on the concepts I mentioned in this one.